one castle in the past. And reading in Portuguese, I don't was remember how important is this final, because are words from the writer of this book. I only pass this book in computer, but who said to me this history was Arquel Galerio, the spirit. And in final, he made a marvelous consideration. I will read today to you, and this take us to think that so much traumas that we passed in a distant past can be developed in us, not confidence in God, and not possibility to have the comfort that this represents in our life, causing in us crises of panic and deep depression, insolubly, until we don't think about it with other eyes. Then I will read to you these considerations about Arquel Galerio. In those movies, we can observe in the last chapter, Marcaligus, he burned in a child so much sick that suffering a lot in the stomach, and now with other name, he had the parents, Irina, Ingrid, and let me open that I ever forget the name of the husband of Irina. I translated today in English, and I will read to you the last chapter. Who don't read all this book? You can search this book since first chapter. It's an agreeable history that have a great final in resume all this matter. The name of the last chapter is The Mission of the Druids, Justice, and the Mysteries of Nature. And how I was thinking, I was talking to you, Irina, marriage with Eustachio, and another incarnation was a great mathematician. And Eustachio was so much interested in knowledge from Druids about heaven, about nature, about stars and planets, that Druids have profound knowledge. And Ingrid and Eustachio had Marcaligus rebirth with them to suffer 3 years grave stomach and pain that this child had for 3 years, because it was the time they was cleaning his soul from suicide committed in another life, when Marcaligus was husband of a mother of Irina, that, and Marcaligus was father of Irina and committed suicide, forgetting his sons, his daughter, only thinking in how own suffer, in his own suffer. And he turned how this song of Irina and Eustáquio to pass 3 years to cleaning his soul. Only last 3 years to him, how Marcaligus encountered Brianna, his wife, but Marcaligus don't waited and committed suicide. Then he was to a bad place, so far from Brianna, and he turned how a child with this sick, because he took in suicide venenos, a plant that so strong and venomous, and he retired his life. Now, in last chapter, he died, and Irina was waiting another baby, but make a goodbye to his little child, and she and his husband accepted the situation because they together knew, because Brianna's spirit came in reunion of druids, an annual reunion of druids, and Brianna said to them, "You two will have again Marcaligus, and he will clean his soul from this venomous day suicide in other existence." And Brianna said this to this new father and mother of Marcaligus. They had the Berecades name to this child that birthed with them. And after this, this was the chapter from other life. Today I will read the final. The mission of the druids, justice, and the mysteries of the nature. All chapters in this history have a bit of gospel, how introduction. And this introduction have ever considerations to the chapter next. Then the gospel from this page, the introduction is from the fact that Jesus knew in the Essene sect It would be erroneous to conclude that this doctrine of Essenes was a person in time of Jesus, religious, and Jesus lived in the middle of these Essenes, but is not motive to think that the fundaments of his doctrine was retired by Essenes. From the fact that Jesus knew the Essene sect, it would be erroneous to conclude that this doctrine was drawn from that sect, and that if he had lived in another environment, he would have professed other principles. No. In all means, in all environment Jesus was living, would have importance. Great ideas never erupt suddenly. Those that are based on truth always have precursors who partially prepare the way for them. All in earth that is true, science, religion, ever had precursors. If this is true, if this sustained until now, how true? The Gospel, according to Spiritism, introduction, Item 4, Socrates and Plato, precursors of the Christian idea and Spiritism. In truth, the mission of Elebat and the Druids in this small region was to consolidate the fiefdom of the Lord of the Castle, propagating through their actions the true purpose of coexistence, of respect between superiors and inferiors, proving that with justice, knowledge of the mysteries of nature, and faith in life beyond life, one can obtain the best and be happy, even while evolving. Even though his children, even thus his children, after the Lord's passing, became embroiled in bloody wars and land disputes in the region. They always guided themselves by justice. Those times was war to survive. A conqueror of art was the principal motive in those times. The cause of respect, the purpose of coexistence, the true purpose of coexistence was the mission of Druids. Respect between superior and inferiors, proving that with just knowledge of the mysteries of nature and waiting life beyond life, one can obtain the best and be happy even while evolving. We must remember that Christ said, "My kingdom don't pertains here. My kingdom is not from here." What Jesus once said with this? Oh, we must death in a crucifix. No. They say that we must be happy with justice, with acquired knowledge, with live in harmony and help each other. We can have happiness this way, but it's not totally happiness, because we know that the life here is not eternal. This is an discomfort, or not. Is this, only this. Here is not the real reign, real kingdom, no. Was this that Jesus Christ simply said? Even though his children, the sons of Lord of the Castles, after the lords going to other dimension, became embroiled in bloody wars and land disputes in the region. His children, that transformed in conquests. They always guided themselves by justice, often having lands gained through dishonest means. He turned it. Often having lands gained through dishonest means, he turned it or taken actions against the religious power of the time, taking actions that led to their excommunication for expressing and upholding their opinions. They made this, they fight against church, against religion of those epoch. They fight and was excommunicated because this. We don't need to be perfect to be happy. True happiness consists of the seeking, study, research, the love of service, and understanding within our own limits that life is eternal and that we should seek happiness while we are on our way, not waiting to reach something we are not yet capable of understanding, because we have not yet experienced it. Not waiting to reach something we are not yet capable of understanding, because we have not yet experienced it. The experience it is important to all of us. And pay attention what crusaders making in head of people they transformed in enslavers. Religion that put fire in people alive, cause these people made a cure imposing his hand. How much books were posed in fire, cause a misunderstanding of religious people with false religion, believing in a false God. God allows us to discover his mysteries as we strive to research, study, and evolve. All our efforts is rewarded with new knowledge and achievements. Understanding the true purpose of life's obstacles allows us to move forward without fear, certain that when we consult God about our actions, He answers us, showing us the best path or the best solution to our problems. Nothing resolved with resentment or revenge can lead to good. God gives us wisdom to free ourselves from life's pitfalls. It's enough that we always keep in mind the yearning for justice and happiness for ourselves and our neighbor. After the advent of the Messiah, our Master Jesus Christ, much has been distorted in his teachings. They were bequeathed to us through an impeccable and true attitude that left on earth the trail of the path to true happiness. Jesus Christ said this, I am the way. All their experience among us was spread and ratified by the hundreds of martyrs before and after Jesus Christ and his advent. The contrary attitudes practiced in his name never had the moral strength to distort his true mission, to awaken the new man who resides within us with the good news. See how much people was obligated, how a slave to bid in the knees and give grace to a God, evil God, that destroyed all his family and transformed him in a slave. Was this the Crusaders made in name of a false God? Developing in his souls the revenge, eternal revenge, and resentment. Who will feel good if all his family, sons, daughter, and material things was destroyed, was abused, and he was obligated to put his knees in floor and give grace to this God that destructed all these things they had constructed. How much evil was this in the past? The contrary attitudes practiced in his name never had the moral strength to distort his true mission. The mission of Jesus Christ was not this, was not to destroy families, was not turn other slavers. He come this world to turn free all people. Was this the great mission of Jesus Christ? And people use bad his name to justify atrocities, putting fire and innocent people. Only these people who are helping another sick with a tea of herbs or imposing the hand of a sick that was capable to cure this person. How Jesus Christ said, was make it. Was this the legal path of martyrs that finished to hate this God, finished to don't believe more in a God? Because in those times, who was dominating was the crusaders and kings so evil. The contrary attitudes practiced in his name never had the moral strength to distort his true mission from Jesus Christ. The contrary attitudes practices in his name never had the moral to make this. Every millennium, man reviews this message from a new perspective. Among us was spread and ratified by the hundreds of martyrs before and after his advent. Druids was martyrs because they were persecuted by Romans men. To awaken a new man who resides within us with the good news. The contrary attitudes practiced in his name never had the moral strength to distort his true mission. To awaken the new man who resides within us with the good news. Every millennium, man reviews this message from a new perspective. For by evolving and abandoning the layers of the old man, he comes to understand with greater depth the need to improve and evolve in order to be happy. He can then visualize the unity that exists between what came before, during, and after Jesus Christ, in a true hymn of love of God and creation. Jesus Christ said that everything he prophesied would be fulfilled even to the last iota. It is with the last J. Even to the last J. It's necessary, therefore, that we understand that, therefore, and after his coming, many fell following his example, so that the propagation of his words would be consolidated. They were liberated souls who understood the existence of life after death. There were many who truly understood and lived his ideas of the true kingdom and the true purpose of life on earth for centuries, causing the trail left by the divine Rabbi to expand to all peoples. Unfortunately, those who used the metal sword, and torture for conversion only increased the thirst for revenge and discredit for a vengeful and materialistic God that exists only in minds that have strayed from the true path to happiness and who, in truth, did not believe in the life that continues beyond his life. In the present day, many still disillusioned, pay attention, with the true purpose of life, lose themselves in the need to satisfy only the crudest senses, drowning the real needs of the soul in a sea of depression and frustrations for which they find no answers. It's the deepest longing of the soul that cries out for help in panic attacks, misunderstood fears, escape through narcotics and hallucinogens that only further delay the liberation of the spirit to happier and safer landscapes. The Master of Masters affirmed that he would never abandon his sheep and that all would be rescued. Alongside the masses, driven mad by consumerism, are the anonymous martyrs who tirelessly fight alongside their loved ones, warning them, calming them, and showing them the true path through a lifetime of dedication and selflessness, hoping to rescue them from the very prison where, where their loved ones remain inert, without action, numbed by the complacency that surrounds them, numbed by the errors of millennia, acting mentally in the same way. However, God, in his mercy, sets a limit to the complacency of the being, who is then called, through the moral laws of life, to live their age-old complacency, often driven by the strongest sting of pain in the physical body. We should always look kindly upon those who reclaim their freedom through the prison of the body, not glorifying pain. No, no one is spirit of good, angels, God. No one like pain. The pain was created by a creature of God, human being, in ignorance, and revolted to his creator. Is this who creates the pain, the suffering? Not glorifying pain with masochism, but blessing the corrective that will liberate them for true happiness. in life in the greater world. Nothing begins and ends in matter. Is this what Jesus Christ said? My kingdom is not from here. It's not one say to us, oh, you must dead in crucifixion. No, it's not this. It's not this. Good spirits don't like suffering, don't like masochism. This is a sick. It's not from high spirits, this. Nothing begins and ends in matter, but only shows itself in the material world as a sketch that must shine with light with each immersion in material life. If every thinking being has free, every thinking being has free will to use its a precious tool where truth is exercise. They can know themselves and control life's responses for their greater happiness. We must live here with happiness. Happiness we search here, not in future, not in past, in here. Now is the time of happiness. But we don't must live by control of matter upon us. It's not matter that must control us. No, it's an illusion. What controls us is our spirit with our self-knowledge. This is the real freedom and happiness. The detachment. But living here with comfort. Of course, comfort, good things, beautiful things, yes. God loves beautiful things. Because this day gave us love, beautiful things to work and get progress. Is this, not suffering. Suffering don't get to us progress. Only will clean us when suffering appears. Only will clean us to let us free. Is this? Is not to love obstacles. No, it's not to prefer obstacles. No. But when obstacles arrive, good grace to God that this will make us jump to a better place. Time to time is this. Be positive, still in suffering. Because this will take to us freedom. How a great tempestry, how a great storm. We must give grace to this. Because all this will clean the air. Will give new airs. Is this the message of God, of Jesus Christ? Is this? And not to suffer in a crucifix in our mind. No. Be tired this of your mind. Be tired this of your mind. Be happy now. Because you are a spirit free. Only temporarily are studying here. Is this? And be happy with your family. Be happy helping others. And all obstacles you will supply. You will in front of this and resolve with the help of God. Because it's necessary to your progress, this. and not those suffering provoked by ignorant minds, torture, crusaders destroying all things, all families, people being in a fire only to try to help other, and got it. Every thinking being has free will to use it as a precious tool where through its exercise they can know themselves and control life's response for their greater happiness. As they evolve, they learn from the feedback of their actions. You make bad, you receive bad. You plant good, you will receive good. It's you that will plant. What you will receive is marvelous. And as they evolve, they learn from the feedback of their actions to discover what is or not convenient for themselves and their neighbors. There is no evolution without sharing. Forgot. If you don't share, you are living in a cavern, you are living in a monster, and a monster from church, fathers in church. You must are in sharing with each other. We are all responsible for our own development. Is this God are waiting for us? Maturity, responsibility with our own acts, including from other existence. It's only this. We are all responsible for our own development and happiness, which are related to the happiness of our neighbor. The bonds we develop throughout an existence perpetuate themselves in ties that weave our future history. Which of us followed by a multitude? Each of us followed by a multitude. Since the man in a so little box in favela, and other rich in his palace, each of us followed by a multitude. I ever say this here. Don't have importance if I have followers or not. Don't have importance this. Because I know each of us are followed by a multitude. Because this is the importance of our acts. God accomplishes His work through us. May we then be in deep harmony with our Creator, who expect us one day to be the mirror where His holy and divine image should be reflected for our eternal happiness. This final chapter was finished with Arkel Galileo. The spirit that passed this marvelous book to me. I hope you like this history and understand that so much people that are using addiction, cigarettes, alcohol, foods, and eat, 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 eat. And others with toxicals and medicine to sleep, all this. All this is anesthesia to spirit. Maybe these people that don't have belief in God, don't get believe in God, have a trauma of this in past, so far past, about to be tortured, to be have fire in his body, he alive or she, to be that cause his fate and obligated. See your family destruct, your sons and daughters destructed, and still were enslaved and obligated to say amen to this God. Maybe it can be your case that have deep depression, that have panic crises, that have one mental sick that don't, or a pain that don't, no one medicine can resolve. And your mind made to take medicine to be tranquil. Maybe the profound deep sick is this, the trauma of those situations. I don't say all people, no, have people that have other traumas in the past. People that with will to drink water. I saw the cases that the alcoholism in this incarnation was because this. And other traumas you must have had in past and make you use drugs to forget because you don't can resolve. You don't believe in God, you don't get. You don't know why you suffer, but you suffering. That you start to anesthetiate your soul. Is the more bad, unconscious suicide you are committing. And will be so much bad. Take care. Don't stop to make it. This now, but think in this. To observe you, what this idea make you feel. Maybe disappear the suffering. Maybe will disappear if you start thinking in it. You trying to knowledge me inside you. Meditation can help you to go inside it. Then is the final of this book, and this conclusion was marvelous from this spirit. And I hope you are having a good Sunday with health, resolving all the problems, to don't have faith. And one of them maybe can be your problem in the past. Okay? Have a good Sunday. If you know of people that don't believe in God, say about this to these people. Maybe this can wake up these people. And I desire profoundly that people that need to know this come here in those lives. Until the next, God bless all of you and continue having your faith and having knowledge, reading books that can take you good thoughts, constructive thoughts, and constructive works with you, your family, and to your neighbors. Don't forget that it's profoundly important. Made compassion, give compassion. Out of charity, don't have salvation. Until the next. Thank you, your presence.